Hello, everybody. This is Dr. J, Professor Spike, and Arjun, streaming live from Long Island, New York, and Oakland, California. Coming to you with the latest stock talk. What's new on the street today, Arjun?
Latest and greatest.
BCRX went way up.
BCRX! BCRX! That's not new.
We're all happy with that.
Press. Hot off the press.
You know, I don't smile too often, but today I'm smiling.
Is it your largest position still?
It's one of my largest.
Well, then you can smile. You can smile even bigger than that.
Yeah. Also, Beam and CRISPR are doing well today. Make me smile as well.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah. I mean, the market bounced off those lows that we talked about yesterday, and it continued up. Things are looking good.
We were on Twitter Spaces yesterday, and Arjun claimed to have bought calls at the low of the day on the SPY.
I promise I did.
And I said BS, and he said, no, really.
It wasn't the exact bottom. It was like $1 off the bottom. Whatever.
All right. Hey, Kamal is with us today. I bet Kamal bought some calls.
Oh, cool.
I'm
sure he's very happy.
SPY, what number? What number yesterday did you buy calls?
458.20-ish.
Very nice.
Yeah, I took them off a little too early, but that's fine.
Linus Chester is with us, and Kamal is asking about price predictions for BCRX. My call has always been $21 for by mid 22, but I'm going to raise that today. I actually think $25 is a more realistic number, considering the bullish news that the CEO gave us the other day about earnings and revenues. Revenues of up to $1 billion. That's a blockbuster drug. I mean, for the year, maybe $250 million, $250 million. But ultimately, he's looking at $1 billion drug. That is a blockbuster.
Yeah. So last year, if I recall from the call, I think they made about 111 or 120 million for Orladeyo. That's a great first year. That's really, really impressive.
And he's going to double that this year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's what he said.
The patient retention was impressive. I think it was 70 or 80%.
70%.
Yeah, 7. That's really good.
Very good. So I was always bullish BCRX, and now I'm more bullish. I didn't add to my position, but I did add to my position on Monday, prior to this news.
Excellent.
Smart man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did not add to my position. I just very, very minorly hedged by selling some cover.
Let me just clarify. Not this Monday, the Monday before.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say. Otherwise, you're Nostradamus.
This Monday would have been very prescient.
The Monday before, yeah.
So my only play was on a single-digit percentage of my shares. I wrote some 18s. That's it.
Okay.
Otherwise, let's let it ride.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about writing calls, but I said I'm not touching it till it's $21 minimum. I might take a little off the table at $21. That's my number. I might as well might as well stick to my guns. I've been saying it all along, and why should I hedge? $21.
Yeah, you'll probably get there at some point.
Yeah, I figured before mid-year. Originally, my thinking was Q3. In fact, even yesterday on Twitter Spaces, I told you by Q3 22 it will be $21. I'm pulling that up a little. I think by Q2 22.
So do you think the Q2 earnings call, or do you think the Q1 earnings call?
Q1 earnings call.
So you're calling for May. So you heard it here, May 5th.
Oh, May, okay.
May 5th ish, we'll have a nice little 20 plus BCRX share price.
Actually, I think maybe is that when the earnings are come out in May?
They always come out about 5 weeks after the end of the quarter.
Okay. Okay. All right. So based on the first quarter earnings, I think we get to $21. And Kamal says, why $21? Because I've been saying it for so long, I believe it to be true.
Well, I think what $21 would imply is that Q1 should be 60 million, which would imply that their 250 million for this year was actually an understatement, which implies they might get 300 million this year, which implies $21. How about that logic?
That sounds like good logic.
Yeah. I don't know if that's exactly right, but
my thinking is that my target should be raised to $25, and it will be, but I will still shave a little at 21.
Yeah.
So I mean, at 21, I begin to touch my.
Be a holding and not the biggest holding.
I'll begin to take a little off.
If BCRX has $100 million quarter this year, then I think 25 is very doable.
I think 25 is very doable, and I do think it's worth double that in a buyout. So I do think it's for sale.
A lot easier than it's a buyout.
I believe it's been for sale all year, most of the year in 21 since approval of Orladeo. And I believe that Stonehouse will be pushing the sale this year. I think he'll aggressively try to sell the company this year.
Versus an offering or some way of just
based on good data, based on good interim data for factor D for PNH.
Okay. Good.
If you get good interim data, $50 is a very fair price. Very fair. What is that? About 8 billion in market cap. Where are we now? What's the market cap now? 2 billion.
Yeah. What the BCRX market cap?
About 2 billion.
Yeah, in your experience, what do you like? Bios purely based. Oh no, it's 3 billion. 3 billion.
3 billion. So figure 4 times that.
Yeah.
So it's worth about 52. It's worth about 12 billion, I think.
Right, but I guess what I'm asking is, let's pretend BCRX only had Orladeo and they had nothing else. What multiple do they usually do for?
Well, I would say 4 times earnings.
Yeah, 4 times.
So basically the next 4 years of earnings. Okay.
You're looking at $1 billion in earning potential $1 billion drug. So that's a $4 billion market cap just on Orladeo.
So that's the answer to Kamal's question. That's $21. So $21 is Orladeo's price target. And then you put factor D in there. That's how you get to 50.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Orladeo alone is not going to sell the company for $50.
Right. But it's a really nice, like when you purchase these type of companies, it's nice to have that recurring revenue as a fund.
I think Orladeo alone is worth 21 to 25 on a takeout.
Wow.
I mean, not Orladeo alone. Orladeo together with Galidesivir, together with Ramavir, whatever other Chazarai they own.
Well, Kamal just told us how many shares he has, and that's a lot. And if it goes to 50, that's going to be a lot.
Good luck, Kamal. You want to retire again? You are retired. You want to retire again?
Then being on this panel will be your next job.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of shares.
You take my.
It's a lot more shares than I have.
Linda's asking whether or not VBIF is bottomed, Arjun. You did promise you talk about it at some point.
Leave that up to Arjun to answer.
For what?
We have a VBIF.
Linda's wondering whether or not VBIF is bottomed.
VBIV has
How's
bottomed.
VBIV bottomed?
Oh, the VBIV so far. I mean, you gotta acknowledge your losers too. It's a loser for me. But I think it's bottomed, and the reason I think it's bottomed is because I think bio in general has bottomed, and I think that the small caps take it on the chin hardest during downturns. But I also think that they can spring back the fastest in upturns when they're way undervalued, and so I think 186, that low, that's a safe bottom. Yeah, I think so.
Where do you have the most hopes for a COVID vaccine or the glioblastoma?
I think it's a combo of glioblastoma and then actually the Hep B therapeutic, which would make them one-stop shop for Hep B, just because the Hep B vaccine was their like foot in the door, but I think that the therapeutic is actually more lucrative.
Okay.
So I think it's one of those. I mean, the way that maybe you hold Athersys or others hold something, like I'm kind of just sitting on it. I don't have it signed.
Getting back to BCRX, Regamarco says, you're wrong, Arjun. No dilution.
He doesn't think a dilution's coming. Well,
I didn't say there's going to be dilution.
And didn't you say an offering wouldn't be a bad idea?
I didn't say it would be. I said it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I didn't say it's going to happen.
Smart.
Oh yeah, okay.
Got to strike while the iron's hot.
I think everyone thinks I'm calling for an offering. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just
saying.
saying.
In other words, if you were Stonehouse and you were going to develop Factor D, bring it to fruition, you would need an offering. But if you're selling the company, maybe you don't.
Exactly. Like, I don't know what he's doing, which is why I'm not going to predict anything. But like an offering here wouldn't shock me, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it wouldn't shock me.
Right. Right.
Just because it's a small to mid cap biotech. I mean, they can raise whenever they want.
Yeah.
Right.
So whether or not it's part of
people quitting. Let's get to
So
let's hello to Sean. Sean is with us. Linda's with us. Kamala's with us. Regamarco's with us. Andrew's with us. A bunch of other people are with us. And I'm going to get to the charts.
Get to the charts.
Ooh, the S&P is looking good. It's almost at 469. Remember when everyone was panicking at 456 or whatever?
Yes.
Including me. I panic easily when I'm losing money.
I've been there since the beginning of COVID, but
I don't like to lose money.
I mean, one of these times the panic's going to be the right. But so far, it's the Bulls. The Bulls have won every single time since March 2020.
Yeah.
But that won't last forever.
This one, CRISPR made a new 52-week low on Monday. And look at it today. It's already 8 points off the low. 8 points off. No, yeah, the low is at 64, so it's 8 points off the low. Nice little comeback.
That candle yesterday was killing.
It took out the high from Friday, which is an important number, 71.42. So it's looking very, very, very strong. It does look like it's really, as opposed to just make believe bottomed. I think it really is bottomed.
Right. That was your line in the sand.
I believe we have a bottom, ladies and gentlemen, on CRISPR. That's what I believe. And we also have a near-term top, strong resistance right here.
Mm.
So we have a bottom at 64. We have a top at 83.59. So I think we're going to get to that $83 level to bump our heads with that double top. We get through that, the sky is the limit. But that's going to be the tough resistance. That's the tough knot, $83. The next $10 should be easy on CRISPR.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So,
Yeah, I like the range here. So you're still at the lower third of the range, which means the swing trade, I think, is a smart one. Yep.
yeah,
Right,
I
so
think
I
I think you're going to get
Yep.
10 points, well, certainly 8 points higher before 8 points lower. I do
Yep.
like that. I do like that swing trade. I also
Looks
like it long term. I think it takes out that double top and flies sometime this year. I'm not saying tomorrow.
I'll
It'd be nice to
sometime
get
this
some
year.
real news first. Just to back it up.
I doubled my position in Beam. I did to Beam what you did to the SPY. I caught it near the bottom yesterday.
Hmm.
I mean, there
Well,
was
this is
such good
iffy,
news. A 1.335 billion dollar deal with Pfizer, and it went down 4 points. And I said, I'm buying. So I doubled
Right.
my position. I now have a lot of Beam, not as much as I do in CRISPR, but I do have a lot of Beam now. And what a
today
candle!
you must be a very happy person.
Yeah, I bought it at $66 yesterday. It wasn't the absolute bottom. The absolute bottom yesterday was 64.76. I paid 66.11, and I doubled my position at 66.11. I did average down, of course.
Still,
So
nice
Yeah,
far,
right.
it had that hammer candle yesterday, which is usually a good tell.
yeah, but I went into it earlier, earlier in the day. So I couldn't tell about the hammer candle. I just decided based on value.
Yeah.
I didn't care ultimately about the day's candle. I said it's getting
Right.
sold. It's getting sold on some really good news, which is insane to me. So I bought it.
Yeah. And also because of our take on what's going to happen to XBS this year, I think it's smart to scale back into these type of plays.
Yes, I like all four of them: Editas and Intelia and CRISPR and Beam. I bought all four yesterday, but my big buy was Beam. My big purchase was Beam. I nibbled at the others.
Right.
Beam,
Now,
I
what are
took a
these? Which disease are these guys aiming for?
Beam, I don't know, but they're partnering on 3 different indications with Pfizer. I don't know what the 3 diseases are.
Yeah.
3. Oh, good.
I think it's more just a bet on the tech at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
This is a fun
the,
space.
the CEO of Pfizer was on Bloomberg yesterday talking about, the partnership. They asked him, why didn't you just buy it? He says, we're cheap. We want to save money. Why should I buy it?
Why should you buy the cow if you're getting the milk?
Yeah. He gave me the honest answer.
Well, they made biotech rich that way.
Yeah. But, it could backfire because Beam had a market cap of $4 billion yesterday, I believe. So they could have bought the company probably for $8 billion and walked away with what I think is a bargain, because I think down the road, this company will be worth $80 billion. So maybe he didn't make such a good move.
We'll see.
Only time will tell. On the other hand, if it fizzles out, they just walk away and no big deal, right?
Right.
They made a minor investment. So I understand from their perspective. but I remember I was talking about all the gene editing, all the gene editing stocks are very much in play for takeouts this year, including CRISPR. They're all very cheap, and once they start coming back, some of the big farmers going to want to take them out before they get too pricey. I could see a buyout of Intelia very easily, even Editas.
Didn't tell you.
What's happening with the volume? Am I freezing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
I think it's Spike. It might be Spike's
Professor
internet or
Spikes.
something. Yeah, his audio is
All
I
on.
think you're the culprit. Yeah.
Sorry. I just want to talk then.
Oh, there. No, now you're good. Now you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't the price of Intelia go up today pretty
Andrew
nicely?
has a lot of questions. Let's look at what he has to say. I'm trying to put it up.
Intelia's up
There you
1.5% today. Not bad.
Oh, is that all? Okay. I thought it
Yeah.
had a bigger move.
Andrew's comment has to do with Crowd, which is one that I know Arjun owns and likes.
Yeah, I like Crowd.
Arjun,
Crowd's one of
you
those,
take
like,
this one?
I have Crowd. Well, wait, hold on. What is this? Oh, he's referring to. Okay,
Andrew's
so
comment.
this is this is basically just like commenting on the fact that like a lot of companies that are in similar spaces are behaving differently, and it might not have anything to do with their fundamentals. It's just like a big money scaling out or repositioning or whatever. And yeah, I mean, for that reason, I mostly have Crowd in my retirement accounts because it's one of those that I just think the business is sustainable. Same with Cloudflare from these levels. NET, I like it a lot too because I think it's fine to have these positions where you're kind of chart agnostic.
Net NET is what you were talking about on Monday on Twitter Spaces. I think
the risk reward on net right now is actually better than Crowd, just because of the sell off on Cloudflare was really something. And Crowd didn't take it on the chin nearly as hard, but like Cloudflare was at 217 in November. They lost half their market cap in a month and a half. For what reason? I don't know.
I remember when you brought it on this show, you were very bullish, but I pointed out to you that Morgan Stanley had a sell on it at price target, I think at 120. What does that sound right?
They had some price target that looked low, but yeah, I bought it. I definitely bought Crowd, or I added more Crowd at the wrong time. But that being said, I think that if you revisit, if you revisit those charts
Morgan
now,
Stanley
I think it's a good buy point.
I do like Morgan Stanley analysts. They have a very good track record. I mean, Goldman certainly as well. So does Bank of America. At Morgan Stanley, I've listened to perhaps more than any of the others. I like Mike Wilson, who scares me this year because he has a 4,400 target on the FTX.
I mean,
These
I
are held
shared,
equities at Morgan Stanley.
I share that price target at some point this year. 444 is SPY, I think, something around there.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
you think he's saying the year will end lower, in other words.
I don't think that. I think that we will touch it once this year, and then basically I think this year should see 10% correction at some point, but I don't think it's gonna last that long.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay, so we looked at CRISPR. Let's look at BCRX. We looked at
yeah,
we
that
want to look
chart we need to chart that.
BCRX.
I feel like this chat owns like half the company at this point. They might even have board seats. They might have a say. Woo!
Man,
Wow, this has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you have to zoom out when you see something
Wow.
like this. You got to zoom out. The daily doesn't tell you much. We got to look at the weekly. Because when you see
Yeah.
this blow off the top type thing, you got to, you get like where it stopped at the top, I think is important to see if it stopped there before and, et cetera. Because, I mean, what are you going to do?
Let's see what happens when I shrink, when I compress the chart. A little chart compression.
Yeah.
On the daily.
So yeah, it took out. Did it fill that gap from August? I think it probably did, huh?
It sure did. Gap's been filled.
The one from August, yeah. So that got filled. So basically, it couldn't. So it stopped right at all those same tops. That's interesting.
Yes, it found the area of resistance and it decided to come down. It
And if
found a couple of touches. There is a gap to be filled right here that it didn't fill. This gap is a close of 1765. Is a gap
that was
that
the
it
one I was
hasn't
talking about from August. So it didn't fill that. That's interesting.
Did not fill 1765. I'll draw it in.
So basically, you wanna see if this pulls back. You don't want it to pull back and give back everything it got today. You want to see a pullback. You want to see a pullback to like high 15s, low 16s, and then continue.
I think where I drew this line would probably be a good support area at this point.
Yeah, you don't want to see that break in the short term.
Right. So I'm looking at about 15.15. Let's say $15 you wanted to hold.
Yeah, big volume these last 2 days.
If it pulls back to 15, you might want to even buy or add.
Sure, why not?
That's how I see it. I know you're more conservative.
You wouldn't want to sell there.
No, I wouldn't sell it there, but I might consider adding it there, figuring it'll hold.
Yeah. So yeah, the bullish.
It depends a lot on the XBI, like Andrew says. The BioDrec moves as a group very often.
Yeah, but the BCRX held up better than most bios during BioDrec.
Yeah, it did. No doubt it did. But the chart has been amazing, and it clearly shows support right about where I drew the line.
Yeah, can we look at the weekly real quick? If you just click like 5-year or something, I'm just curious. I haven't looked at the weekly in forever.
I could look at the monthly even.
Very interesting. Okay.
It looks the same in terms of the lines I drew.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, basically you want 15 to hold. That's the first support. If it were to go below there, you have your breakout right around the 1370-ish mark.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you got this area for support.
14,
14.
yeah, 14, 15, yeah. So there you go. Those are your two support levels.
Yep, they're about $1 a pop.
So you
14,
don't want the
15.
15. Yeah, you don't want the 15 to break though. You don't want that to
No,
break.
you'd rather not.
Because
But
if
you
it
do
gives
have,
it all back, then I don't know what that means.
but you do have good support at 14, 15.
True. Yeah, this looks, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. But congrats to people that held through that pain down to the tens.
Mm-hmm.
I must say that I've been more bullish on BCRX than you have lately, Arjun.
Yeah, slightly. It's just paid me so much that I've been more willing to trim when it allows. Because we've been in this since the fives. I mean, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. What
But it's
else
a
did I
great
say I was
it's a
going to
great
chart?
company.
I said all SPX. First, let's take a look at the averages. Yeah, it's up 0.82%, 38 points, and the Dow is up 0.5%, and the Nasdaq 24% or 200 points. Russell up 1%, 22 points. Dow is inching higher, 81 to 100. Gold is up 2 today, I believe. Everything is getting a bid. Which would be SPX, SPY, which one?
I think SPY is easier to chart usually just because less digits.
Yeah.
S the Nasdaq today.
Yeah, I like I chart SPY pretty much daily, so I like that one. Plus
Yeah.
VIX. Those are my two favorite to chart, VIX and SPY. They usually tell us a lot.
All right, SPY.
Yeah, this one. This one, it just keeps making higher lows every couple weeks, so the bulls are still in charge for now. It looks good. I would not be surprised, in my
I don't
opinion,
know
to
what's
see
happening.
SPY. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think it's loading. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see SPY try to challenge the all-time highs soon. If we can
Yeah,
get it on the...
we made how many new highs last year? 70, I think.
It's
How many
crazy,
new
yeah.
highs did it make for the year last year?
I don't know, but it was something like that.
21. I think it made. I can't seem to SPY.
Yeah, your
DW,
internet, I think, is you're kind of breaking up. It might be your internet. Not sure.
Well, he's a
my
minus.
computer's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up SPY real quick just to take a look. Oh wow, we're almost at 470. Sheesh. Yeah, my take on SPY is basically, so I mean, I can just talk through it if we can't see it. Oh, okay. There we go. I know that's
Well, we can
Exxon.
see Exxon Mobil.
There you go.
Yeah,
At a new high.
oil's been doing great.
Yeah.
USO is
Exxon
one of
Mobil
the,
is lagging some of its peers, but it didn't have a bad 52 weeks.
Yeah. Chevron
44
had a great
low,
couple days ago.
71 high. Very nice. Very nice. Really nice. All right. 5% dividend also. You can't knock that.
Nope.
This might not be a bad play, ExxonMobil, along with BP or any of them.
Right.
yeah.
I just clicked on the S&P because if I try to load SPY, it doesn't find it. So
Yeah, we can check. This will probably be the same thing.
maybe it's
usually-
spelling SPY wrong. Could that be?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm spelling.
How do you spell S&P?
Could I be spelling SPY wrong?
Well, usually you just divide by 10 and take off like 1, and that's SPY. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is the same chart.
And what I'm seeing on the chart is on the daily, we're seeing higher lows that keep faking bears out, and the bulls then come back in and take it up, and it just keeps stair-stepping up. So it looks good. Looks good today.
Beam is up a whopping 11.26% on the day. Beam, holy mackerel!
Yeah, this is the weekly. I don't want to do the daily, but look at that. Look at that.
The weekly is quite strong on the SPX.
Yeah, this long tail that it's forming is great.
Yeah, it had a little nice rebound week. It was trying to push lower and clearly didn't.
Yeah, the 9 week is looking like it might be support. Yeah,
it's looking good. The chart has found support on the weekly today, and it bounced off.
Yeah, because if you look, there was a really interesting pattern. So if you look at the 100-day, every time it touches the 100-day, it gets that long tail, and then it just keeps going.
I see that.
Yeah. So it's been like a very predictable kind of pattern the last 2 months.
Yeah. The 100-day has been excellent support.
Yeah. Whenever it goes below it, it's brief.
And the 100-day is moving on up. So that's really bullish, super bullish.
Yeah. And here's why I think that 440 or whatever might come into play, because eventually it'll just probably the 100 will get exhausted, and then the 200 will be support. But I would be really surprised if that 200 breaks meaningfully. But it might happen once this year that we test the 200. But until then, like right now,
I'm going to draw where Mike Wilson said the S&P will end the year. 4,400.
It's right at the 200, yeah.
This is where Mike Wilson is calling for the S&P to end 2022.
So he's basically calling for it to end where it had that breakout in October. That's interesting. Right. That's really interesting.
Right here, yeah. Yep, he's calling for that's correct, exactly.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This seems like Seems like
Yep,
it's just
right in here, yeah. That's correct. October 14th.
right.
Right in the middle of that candle. That's correct.
So in my opinion, I'm just going to remain bullish on the S&P until I see a touch of the 100 that doesn't bounce hard.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
that's
mean, this is an easy chart to read. Touch it every time it hits 100, go long.
yep. And
Buy
then
and dip.
every time it makes an all-time high, sell your long.
Yeah, yeah, because it doesn't seem to. Well, that's not quite true. It has legs. Here it made an all-time high, lasted about a week. And, here it made an all-time high and lasted a couple of weeks, maybe.
Right. But it depends, I guess, how frequently you trade, but it's pretty safe. I think you go long at the 100 and then you sell all-time highs, something like that.
Well, that's been working.
Yeah.
It worked about 70 times last year.
Right.
In and out off the high. Would have got me money.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully this is helping viewers get a good picture of, when you see these dips, don't panic when you see the strong 100 bounces.
No,
I
what
think
you do is you wait for Arjun to go buy calls on the spot and you
Right.
follow. And you follow him. Because he knew to get in at the low of the day yesterday. It's like a genius.
it's not genius.
move
We're
on the
just
call.
reading this chart. We're just reading this chart. That's all.
No, it was a genius call. All right. Any requests before we end the show?
We
So,
have a request for Spice for Tilray.
SPCE is what someone wants us to chart. We can do that, and then yeah, sure.
I have a request for ARKK.
Oh, Kathy,
Yeah, I just want to see what people think.
Kath, she's having an interesting couple
She's having an
months.
interesting couple of months, as have we.
Yeah. Hopefully she's
Virgin Galactic has come down from $50 a share, I remember it at, right? Now it's back to its SPAC price. It's really lost all Momo. All the air has been sucked out of this one. What was its SPAC price? $10. It hits 60, I think. Let's see where did it hit. 57 and change. What a nosedive, and it's been like straight down. Straight down. It's a yucky poo. This is what I call a yucky poo.
Yeah, that's a technical term for it.
Yeah. It's really been a yucky poo. And look how quickly it collapsed from 60 to where it put in a support area.
Interesting come off.
That lasted a while. Let's draw this support area that lasted for months before it broke. $22 would be the resistance now. If it
Kamal
gets
is
back
Kamal's calling for this to go to an all-time high this year. That is bold.
It is.
I like the prediction.
Well, I'm going to call for $22. I think it'll test that resistance area.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. There's no rounding over there.
So I'm bullish, but not as bullish as Kamal.
I mean, I don't want to go in until I see a really high volume candle, because like what these charts tend to tell us is that a bunch of buying happened in July, and then that buying got unloaded slowly but surely for months. So we need to see accumulation happen again.
It was going very well on October 14th. Something happened. The air came out of it. And we have a big gap fill at 2406. But you got
Yeah.
resistance 22.
I'm personally not going to touch this till I see volume. But as Kamal said, the year's young.
Look at how the chart remembers. You go all the way back here to, I can't even see what date that is. Maybe if I go up, I could see it better. Still can't see the date. 5/21. I think so. May. Does that sound right? Yeah, it's down too low for me. I can't see the date, but you go all the way back here, and you have support resistance area 22, and then it again here in November. So this chart shows you that it has a memory. If you look, charts have memories. All right. Okay, so there we have it. I think it's a buy. You're at the basically the offering price for the SPAC is $10, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it at this price.
Yeah, why not?
I agree with Kamal. I'm bullish. Not as bullish as he is, but I'm definitely bullish.
Show me some volume and I'm in.
Is there any other requests?
I think Tilray is what Spike was saying, or Arc. I don't care.
Yeah, that was a personal.
Tilray and all. Both Tilray and all.
Okay. Yeah, Tilray had a nice little earnings call.
I bought Tilray not this Monday, last Monday. I'm about.
Hey, you certainly know how to catch these bottoms.
See, I like Tilray a lot because you see the way that this bottomed, like Virgin Galactic, but you can see the volume spiked and the price didn't move. I think that warrants a higher move up. Like that's just something I've noticed with charting I've done recently. When you see that volume spike, but you don't see the big price move, that can warrant a move maybe back up to
some renewed interest anyway.
Exactly, because I think that's accumulation basically.
Well,
so
yeah,
I'm very bullish Tilray right now.
It closed the day yesterday in the green and with a gap up on the heavy volume. Yeah, I don't know where yesterday's volume came from, but it was enormous volume. You have to.
I mean, I know why it came. I know why it came. It's because of the earnings. It looked good.
I wasn't aware of the earnings.
Yeah,
But
basically they're full. They did a preview of the full 2021 earnings, and they looked great.
The chart looks good, and it's. I think
time this thing turned around. After the merger, everything just fell apart.
Isn't there a seasonality factor with pot stocks? I think they kind of peak first quarter. They always have a good winter.
Yeah,
maybe
it's because the harvest. Yeah, it's because the harvest is done by that time, and they're selling during the colder months. Yeah.
People have nothing better to do but to light up and around the fireplace.
Just stay warm and toke up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a price target for this? I remember, right? It was 21.
21 is my BCRX price target.
No, I remember on our. This is your top pick of the year, right? I thought you said triple.
Yes, it was my top pick of the year, no question. But I'm looking at resistance right up here. That would be my target, immediate target.
Right. I
Oh,
just remember when we were talking, I think you called for this to 3x this year. I could see it.
yeah, yes. But my target now is 1360
For now, right?
for
That's a
now.
huge, huge
It's
move.
almost,
I
it's
like
almost a doubling. I'll almost break even if I do that.
it.
My,
Like I said,
that's,
I'm in from,
I mean, if it takes out 1360, I feel very good about a triple for the year. How's that?
So
$21 would be good.
I'm gonna buy some of this live because this is my favorite chart we've looked at today. I really like that
I may very well
volume.
join you, my friend.
I'm gonna get a gummy that has a little of the stuff in it right after the show.
But how do you know? How do you know you're getting a Tilray product? They're not a retailer, are they?
What?
Yeah, but you know, it's all the
I have
same.
I'm a card carrying member. I'm
Well,
legal.
there you go.
I'm legal.
Does that stuff even help?
Helps you sleep.
I have a card in my wallet that says I can buy this stuff.
It helps you eat. It helps you sleep.
It helps
Yeah, well,
everything.
I don't think I need any help eating.
It helps you pick winners in the market.
Okay, because you
Yeah, just eat a gummy and then buy this chart.
very
Absolutely.
funny.
I guess we can end there or one more. One more. Yeah, one more.
Kathy Woods, a tribute to
Yeah.
Kathy.
Well,
I love Kathy. She's my secret love.
once I had.
She needs love because she's taking it on the chin.
Oh man, I see a bottom that looks like a real bottom yesterday, doesn't it? You ever seen a bottom that looked better than that?
Yeah.
Only
I got
Kathy.
rid of my SQQQ.
I just
I
bought
might
this morning.
I think I might want to
Kathy
get some
Woods.
TQQQ.
Okay, fun. I put in a bottom. I'm calling this a bottom. It
Looks like one.
turns north from here.
It looks like one to me.
It really looks like a bottom. But then again, this really looked like one back here in December 6th. And it took off, but it came back down.
Well,
So
how about we do
don't
our typical swing? You get $14 up or $13 up and $7 down.
yeah, or you can just go right back up to the previous high and sell. Something like that.
Yeah, that works
Let's throw
too.
it in.
You could do 7 up, 7 down. Yeah.
The previous high would be up here.
The way I would play this is I would give even odds that it hits 100 before 80, and I'll just buy some as a swing.
You know, yeah, that's a sensational idea. I like that idea. You could do that live on the show.
I stole that
I like
from
that
you.
idea.
Everything you realize, everything I'm saying, I just stole from you.
Yeah, exactly. We all learn from the best.
Well, maybe that's why I like the idea. It definitely has merit, this idea, because on the downside you're talking maybe eight points. On the upside, 13 points. My kind of trade.
Yeah.
That looks good to me.
Yeah, 2-1 almost.
Does.
Let's buy some.
Looks very good. It's tempting. It's tempting to buy it.
Yeah, let's nibble a little.
Can we end now?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
end with Kathy might be out of the woods. How about that?
I love Kelly. I think she's right on Wall Street. She's smart.
Yeah, I agree. I think long term
No
she's
kidding.
gonna
I'm
do.
serious. She is going to do great. I think if you stay with her, you're going to wind up making 5 times your money. And
Yeah.
I think that arcade fund is very strong. It's got great companies in there. How could it really go wrong?
Yeah.
unless we have a collapse. It's a strong collection of between 30. She always has between 30 and 50 stocks, and you
Right.
can't knock any of those picks. They all look good.
That's true. But if I can
All
leave
right.
everyone with one
Kathy,
thing
we
today,
love you.
I was gonna say what my favorite thing today, if everyone learned, was the S&P 100-day moving average. Don't bet against that until it looks like you should bet against that.
Right. Then they just go to the 150 at that point. Because
Yeah.
it was playing off the 50, then it was playing off the 100. So next it'll play off the 150. It's not a big deal.
Sean, thank you very much. I agree
Thank you,
with you. It
Sean.
was a good show today. Don't forget to subscribe, as always, for your own due diligence. Our opinions are strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. Check with an advisor before acting. Amigos, until we meet again.
I'm trying to jump
Jiggly
above
is
the
here.
comment so I can see people.
Yeah, hey Jiggly.
I'm trying to jump above the comment. Can't see
Hi,
anybody.
guys.
Instead of jumping up, you can move your camera.
Oh yeah.
Let them out go to Muhammad.
This was fun. Yeah, I got to run to a meeting.